Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Matt, and I'm excited to be here with you guys tonight. So if you can hear me well, give me a little shout out in the chat. This will be really good. I've got a lot of great updates to give you guys tonight, so looking forward to that. And yeah, just a lot of good stuff happening, some big updates, and some new formulas that'll be coming. So yeah, just wanted to connect with you guys. So let me just check the chat, make sure you guys can hear me well. Oh yeah, it looks like everybody's like loud and clear. What's going on? Let's see who's all here with us. Tim, welcome. Dean, welcome. Teddy, welcome. Dave, good to see you. Kyle, long time no chat. Gabriel, cool, you made it. Good to have you. Carol, nice to see you here. Dean says it's above 40, sweating here in Minnesota. Yeah, man, it's nice and warm. Lee, hey, Lee, welcome. It's yeah, it's a little, it's a warmer day here for sure, but I didn't I didn't get out today. I was in the office all day, so I got a lot done. Maybe tomorrow will be a little bit warmer. We'll see. Dale, welcome. Glad you could make it too. All right, let's get rocking and rolling here. I've got a number of things to cover and want to have some time for questions and stuff too. So first of all, let me give you guys some updates. There's some fixes to the platform and some things that we're working on that should make it a lot nicer for you guys to see everything that's going on, make it more transparent when dealing with outsourcers. I think you're going to like what we've come up with based on your feedback. So first of all, comments. Any of you that have comments that have not been working 100%, that's been fixed. So there's been several people that have said, hey, I messaged this outsourcer and I haven't heard anything. What's going on? Well, they weren't actually getting your comments. So we've fixed that bug, and so comments are now getting through in all directions. So if you message an outsourcer, you will absolutely hear back now. And if they message you, you'll get an email as well. So I had messages today from many outsourcers going, oh my gosh, I got all these messages. So that has been all fixed now. So if you've got anything that's outstanding or anything that you have a question on or something that hasn't been resolved, go ahead and pop a message to whoever's working on your tasks, and you'll get a reply now, since that is all working 100%. Okay. So next thing I want to talk about is time tracking for outsourcers and really being able to gauge responsiveness. So one of the things that we've seen as a little bit of a challenge is you don't know when a outsourcer was actually accepting your task. So let's say they go ahead and you assign something, they go ahead and accept it. You don't really see that until you go into the task, and then you see the green check mark. But then after that, you're waiting for the delivery, and then you get notification then. But what happens if for some reason an outsourcer hasn't confirmed that? And that's happened in a couple cases where the outsourcer just hasn't confirmed. What happens then? So what we're going to do is we're going to start reporting to you when that confirmation actually happens, or if it hasn't happened within 24 hours, the outsourcer is going to get a notification, and you will too. And at that point, you can wait for that outsourcer, or you can pick somebody else. You can always assign it to multiple people, and the first one to accept will actually be the one to get the work. But in cases where you want to hire a specific person, it'll actually be able to show you and give you an alert that that's been accepted or not accepted, and that you may want to log back in and check that out. So that way you're not waiting for several days or a week or more and then figuring out, oh crap, this person didn't accept it and now my project's behind. So that should help a lot. The other thing that we're going to be doing is tracking the time, what we call idle time, which would be the time from when the task actually starts, okay, when it actually moves into the to-do column until the worker or outsourcer has actually started. And then once they've actually started the task, how long it takes to complete the task. So that is really important as well, because you need to be able to see not only how long something takes, but how long it takes for that worker to actually get to your task and do it, right? So I think those two metrics should really be able to help you guys when you're outsourcing, and you'll be able to see those very soon on the actual assignment window. So when you're going to outsource, it will show these metrics next to the outsourcer. So you'll be able to see, oh, they typically don't get started on, even though you've assigned it to them, they typically don't get started on this for 6 hours or a day or 2 or whatever it might be. And then once they start, it typically takes them, 1 day to complete, or 6 hours to complete, or a week to complete, or whatever that time frame is. But you will be able to see this by formula task, not just by, like an average over their their whole account or something. Like, you'll be able to see this broken down at the formula task level by outsourcer. So different tasks can take different amounts of time. So if somebody's just doing, grabbing a list of backlinks from Ahrefs and putting them into link create for you, that's not an incredibly timely task. That should be able to be delivered pretty quickly. So that's something that shouldn't be taking days. That should be delivered fast. So you'll be able to see the actual time that that takes on average for that specific task to be done. So when you're assigning the outsourcers, you'll be able to see those times, and you'll soon be able to review the outsourcers by formula task, and you'll be able to see what kind of ratings they have for that particular formula. So somebody may be a real rock star at one formula and great at another formula, but you'll be able to see the differences in ratings between outsourcers and by formula tasks. So as we keep growing the platform and there's multiple outsourcers available for different items, you'll be able to quickly tell, who's going to be the right one to get for this. And most importantly, when can you actually expect that work to be delivered, so you can start to plan out your project timelines a little bit better. Okay? Anybody like that? Is that going to help you out at all? Yeah, for sure, right? That's going to be really, really, really helpful, because that's been a challenge for some of you, depending on outsourcers. There's been a few outsourcers that have been not as fast as we'd like, or in some cases, they haven't, it's just not transparent to see, have they actually started this? Have they, told you how long it's going to take? So rather than just let them set some sort of arbitrary time as to what they think it should take, we're just going to track how long it actually does take. And that way we'll report that to you, so you'll be able to know realistically, based on their recent deliveries, how long it's taking. Okay, so we'll probably also add this metric, which is when they last logged in, or when their most recent delivery was, so you can get a sense too that they are responsive, that they are logging in. And obviously you have the ability to message them too, but it is kind of comforting knowing that responsiveness, level, and also seeing that, hey, they were in the site 2 hours ago, so they're on it. It's not like they're not logging in and being inactive. They're there. Okay. All right. So the next thing is, last week we talked about the tracks and how I was updating those. There's another track that is now available. All right, so let's go ahead and actually look at that. And if you've sent me your login already, there's nothing else you need to do. I'll put it in there for you. If you haven't, then you're going to want to just send me your login and just go into the application here, click this, and just say, hey, Matt, I want you to go ahead and send me this and put it in my account, and you'll be good to go. But let me go ahead and actually show you that second track. It's very similar to the first, but you're going to use it in some different occasions. So let's actually take a look at that. All right, so when we go into the account, let's log into here. These tracks, I'm just calling them 2018 tracks, so that way you can identify that they're different from the other ones. So we talked about this one last week, but let's actually go into this one. It is almost the exact same as the other track. This is for a single location business. The major difference here actually in this track is really only one piece, and that is it doesn't have the formula for you adding the business, or I should say adding the domain into link create. because if this is an additional location, you do not need to do that. That has already been done. So if we compare this to the other one, let me just get the other one up here. Move my webinar panel out of the way. There we go. So if we put this here and we go into the original one, you're going to see that there's another formula in here called add domain to link create. So once you've added your domain to link create, you don't need to go add like your page to link create. That is already going to be in there. Okay. So everything else is pretty similar, because for an additional location, you're going to handle it almost the same way as you would the first. You're still going to go through all the GMB steps. You're still going to build all the same kind of links to it. And it's almost the exact same with the exception of pulling out the link create components, because you don't need that. Okay, so that is all updated. I'll get you that. And there is another track, which is the lead generation track, which is not fully finished yet, but is almost there. I'm actually simplifying up a couple of these components, because some of you, actually several people, have said if you can just get a GMB via MODUS8 without having to monkey with Craigslist, then that's a better solution. So I'm building that into this track to make that a bit easier. And some of these options in here, like having to find categories and create the Google My Business listing before you can verify it on Craigslist, it complicates things. You're basically able to take 1, 2, 3, 4 steps and distill it down into, well, basically one step, because in gathering the business information, you can specify the category that you want. And then all that needs to be created is the Google My Business listing. You don't have to like post something on Craigslist and then go back and then, create the listing, because you can't create the listing with Craigslist until you've got the address from somebody. So there's like multiple touch points in here that just make it more time consuming. So while Craigslist method still does work for getting a GMB, I would suggest that you're probably going to be better off just getting your GMB via MODUS8, because it ought to be a faster process and less formulas for you to run. So I'm going to have a lead generation track built for you with that, and then the other components will be updated as well. The image optimization is simplified now into a single task, well, 2 tasks, a prep task and the actual optimization, but it's better than 6 tasks. And these options here where you have to add the domain and backlinks to link create and add the location page to link create, all this stuff is now all gone because of link create's token feature. You don't need to go add all of these page links. You don't need to go add your citation list to to-dos and your niche list and location list to to-dos. When you run the citations formula, if you're using an outsourcer, all you need to do is just specify that token in the list that you want, and they'll go apply the list to the project for you. So you don't have to go through, these like 4 or 5 extra formulas to add stuff into link create. So when we did conveyor belt SEO, that was the best that we had at the time, but it's a lot better now because we don't have to go through all those steps because we have the token. So I will update this and get that out to you guys as well. All right, so let's go to a couple other items here. The next one is link create. So we've had some questions come in about link create and how to find backlinks that are being created. So how do you actually know what an outsourcer has delivered? So when you're running link create in tandem with MODUS8, what you're going to see is, let's say you're doing citations. You're going to see that citations task move into the needs review column, which is going to mean that the outsourcer has delivered for you and it's time to review their work. So being the citations are recorded in link create, let me show you guys where to find those, because a few of you weren't quite sure where to actually get those from. So let me show you where you can find those at. Let me just log in here. Okay, so what you're going to do when you log in is you're going to go to domains. So a little globe and then domains. From there, what you're going to do is you're going to click on your domain. You're going to see all your pages in here, assuming that you use the sitemap feature and put them in that way. Click the backlinks tab here at the top. Okay. Under backlinks here, you're going to see all of the links that have actually been submitted. All right. I should say all the backlinks that are actually live. All right. So if we click here, this little panel will slide out and it'll show you where the link is from. And if there's any credentials, like this is just a sample. So these are just sample credentials, but that will be there. So how do you tell what is actually like submitted? Like how can you actually tell what work has been done and what may be still like pending? So there's two different ways that you'll be getting citations done in Modus 8. One is a drip, which means that they're going to just do like 20 a week for you until they're done. The other may be all at once. So everything starts first as a to-do backlink. So this just has some sample links. This is just some sample sites thrown in here. But everything that is to be built first starts in the to-do list. So once it's in this to-do list and the links are getting built, the status will change, okay? So the status will change here and the credentials will be placed here. Once the status changes from to do, it can move to live, meaning the link is actually live. Like some sites, your link will go live right away. Other sites, they don't go live right away and they'll just be marked as submitted. If for some reason the website's down, it'll be marked as website down. If it can't be submitted, it'll be marked can't submitted. There's also a status for like payment required, okay? So you're gonna be able to see if you go in the to-do list, what is not live yet. So anything in to-do is not live yet. It means it's either still a to-do and it hasn't been built. It may be submitted, and that just means the link was submitted, but it's not live on the website yet. Or it's got another status like the website might be down, or it requires some sort of payment or something like that. Okay? And then once your link actually becomes live, meaning it can actually be found on the page, it's there, you can actually see it, that's when you're going to see it in the backlinks tab. Okay? Does that make sense to everybody? Carol loves that AOL email. Thanks, Carol. That's awesome. I've had that since I was like 9 years old. Original AOL. It's kind of just my, personal email that I use for like everything other than just business. So like my little test account, like demo accounts and stuff like that, you'll see me sporting AOL. Yeah. Tim says, do VAs have to purchase geotagger, and can we get different keys for our VAs, or do they need to purchase? So Tim, are you having a VA do your stuff, or you just mean you want to outsource it? The VAs on Modus 8, they already have image geotagger. So you don't all you do is you just apply the formula, you give them the keywords and everything else, and they just do it. If your VA is going to do it, they can just follow the formula, but they're going to need to have their own license and everything else. There's not a way for them to access that through here. So if you need keys for them or something, yeah, just hit me up. Okay, we can get you keys for those. But basically, the formula that they're going to use is just this one right here. Just slide this out of the way. Tim, you're going to want to just be following that GMB track. That's going to be what you want. It's called File Optimize and Geotag Photos. This is the prep where you give them the photos and the keywords. This is where you actually have them do the work. So in order to optimize your images the way I do mine, there's a lot of steps. It's very, very detailed as to how they fill everything out and what they need to put in each of the fields and all of that. But it's literally every single step. All right. Now, once they get good at it, they may not have to necessarily read every single step. They may just kind of start to know it by heart. But that is what my outsourcers on here follow. They follow that exact protocol. But if you got a VA that already has image geotagger that's working for you, then you're just gonna, you know, assign them this and have them follow that for you. Okay, got it. Cool. All right, so is that clear in link create? Do you guys have any questions on how that works? Basically, you just want to go into the domain and you're going to look at backlinks and to-dos. That's really where you probably want to spend your time, either adding items to the to-dos or seeing, you know, what's still in to-dos and then what's actually in backlinks. So we had an idea where to display like sort of an action list at the top here, where it would show like what items you actually need to take some sort of action on. Particularly, it's the sites that may require phone verification or some kind of payment. So I don't know if that's of interest to you guys, but I mean, I just always just go into the to-do backlinks and look at the status there. But maybe it would be helpful for some of you if you could see exactly any items that need to be taken action on. If so, let me know. That could be something that we could add for you. Let me check your questions. Dale says, does link create spider sites and find backlinks? So it doesn't go out and find, it won't just go out like on its own like Ahrefs and just try to go find links to your domain. What it will do though is it will go out and actually look at the links that you have submitted into the system. So it does kind of spider in that sense. It actually will go over to the pages and will check the links that are there and see if your link is live or not. But it doesn't go out and like search for new links that it wouldn't already have known about in here. Gabriel, I like where you're going with that. Gabriel said, is there an indexer built into here? So there's been a couple people that have said that would be really cool if there was a way where you could take your links and just index them, you know, on like on a drip or submit them to some kind of service. And there's not currently, but and probably just because I haven't seen any indexers that are really really reliable or really, you know, really reliable is probably the best word, you know, that just work, right? So if you guys have something that you like that's really great, you know, put me in touch with the person, you know, tell me about the tool or put me in touch with the person that runs it, and we can see about getting that integrated somehow, because I think that would be totally awesome, right? Imagine being able to take a bunch of your live backlinks that are not indexed and go get them indexed on some sort of a schedule, right? Or at least drip them out. It'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Carol likes that feature. Yeah, I do too. I think it'd be really cool. If you guys have any indexers that you like that are working well for you, then let me know. Let me know. Okay, cool. Just 1 second. The comments in the chat here went all like out of order for me. So let me see how I can resort these. Hold on 1 sec. Okay. Give me just 1 second here, everybody. I'm just getting the comments back. It like just kind of took them out of order. So I just wanted to make sure that I don't miss any of your questions. Well, let me just make sure we're good. Oh, Carol said I'm testing an indexer right now that I've heard really good things about. That's awesome, Carol. Got to keep us posted there. It's fantastic. That would be excellent. Okay, I think we got all the questions so far. I'm just trying to scroll through and make sure we got all of them, because it took them all out of order and I wasn't able to sort them. So, okay, we're good. I think we're good. Gabriel asks, is there any way to keep track of links that get dropped? We've talked about some kind of like an email notification. So having it just go out and cycle through your links at some point and then give you a email notification if something is down. So we just need to work on what that schedule would be like. It's probably not efficient every single day to go out and, especially because like we're just, giving this to you guys as a bonus. We'll probably, turn this into like a paid service and people will be paying separate for this. I mean, you guys are going to get this for free for life, but other people, we're gonna definitely it'll be paid at some point because especially with all the checking and everything else and proxies and stuff, it will be a paid tool. But yeah, we just need to figure out the cycle, kind of how that runs. I don't know if it would run, like once a week or every few days, or maybe you'd have to press something or whatnot. But yeah, we'll find a way to make that work because I think that would be pretty sweet. Pretty sweet. Tim said, can you get some kind of an alert if a site gets hit with negative SEO from a competitor? The way it stands right now, no, Tim, because it's not going out and searching for those new links. What it's doing is it's making sure you get the most benefit out of the links that you already have or have already built. Doesn't have any way of actually scouring the entire internet and seeing, what's coming into your site that we may not already know about. All right. Got it. Okay, any other questions on that, on link create, on understanding what's there? Most of your time is just going to be spent in the backlinks and to do backlinks. One thing I should probably mention that maybe I didn't mention before is that whenever you say you were to add a whole bunch of pages to your site, you do not need to like automatically, I should say you don't need to like go back in and like rebuild your domain or anything. What you can do is, let's say you go into your site, if you just go edit domain, if it'll keep your sitemap link here. You can just hit import sitemap. It'll pull in all your pages. And once it pulls in all your pages, you can just hit select all and save. If there's any new pages in that sitemap that you didn't already have, it will go ahead and add those pages. It won't delete any pages, obviously, because it doesn't want to remove any backlinks or any records, accidentally. But if there's new pages that you have since you created the site or something like that, it will go ahead and add those pages into here for you. So basically like a refresh. It'll just go pull in your new pages that you might have, which is helpful because some of you are building links even to like supporting pages, right? Or you're doing multi-locations and you're building links, citations, especially to lots of internal pages. You may be adding locations, so that's worth mentioning that you can just quickly pull in the new locations without having to redo everything. Okay, cool. Let's go to new formulas coming from fellow members. So there's been some members that have messaged me saying, hey, really excited about doing some of my own formulas and getting them in so we can share them with other members. So far we've had fellow members message about GMB posts. So I'm chatting with some of you guys working on that, and also core reports and Page Optimizer Pro reports. So if there's other items besides those, I mean, I've got a lot of formulas that are about 99% done, just either waiting for an outsourcer to confirm pricing on it or getting a final video added or something like that. But I think next Wednesday we will dedicate purely to new formulas. We'll just make it like a formula only call and just go over new formulas and any questions on existing ones. But it looks like these will be a few that are going to be coming soon, and I've got several others of my own. But if you guys have ideas for other things that you want to see, then just let me know, and I'll work with you to get those in place. All right, what other questions do you guys have? Any other questions? Those of you that have sent me your credentials, that's great. I'll get those formulas loaded in for you. If you have specific specific questions on like one of your projects, a vendor, or just questions inside of your account or something, just shoot me a message. I'll make sure that I hook up with you on that. Just checking the chat here. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Probably what we'll do, Carol said, yeah, next Wednesday night is the night before Thanksgiving. What we may do, I'll probably still do it, Carol. I know that's going to conflict with a lot of Thanksgiving schedules. Even if the turnout is light, I will still do it and record it just so we keep on our weekly schedule. It's always kind of tricky around holidays to find a time that works well, but I'll probably still do it just for the consistency and to make sure I get you guys those new formulas. Carol, I saw your message about that. I will shoot you. I'll shoot you a message about that because I know exactly what's up, so I can help you there. It'd just be easier if I just show you one-on-one. Let me just check and see what else here. Dale said, what's the best way to get the rest of the niche or location blog comments in the original list done? Example, when they do this task the first time, they only do some of the list. Is there an existing formula so they can pick up where they left off? What I would do, Dale, is I would go ahead and reassign it to the exact same outsourcer and just put a little note saying, hey, already did these before. Please check the sites just to make sure you're not, resubmitting to the same ones. That should work pretty well. I'm just trying to think of the easiest way where you don't have to specify too much for them. So assuming you give them the exact same files, then that should be pretty doable. If you want to try that with like Cheska, let me know. I can help you coordinate that. We may design, yeah, we could just design like, I guess we could just take the original formula and just make like we kind of write that into the documentation and make basically just like call it like additional round, right? So they understand like right out of the gate that this is an additional round that's being done. That's not a bad idea. Actually, might make it a little bit simpler. Just so they know right away when they're accepting it, like, hey, I got to go look for, I got to go look for the old ones and just make sure that I'm not doubling up. That's a good idea. Do you mind to shoot me a little reminder note about that, Dale? Do you want to just either just pop a message to me on Facebook or shoot a message into support and just say, hey, I think it'd be helpful if we had like just slightly modified documentation for the outsourcer on that, because I think that's it's just a subtle change to it, but it would be helpful because I know there's others that are going to go back to like the same niche and want more comments. So Carol said, if I need location specific citations that there is no list for in Link Create, is there an outsourcer that can do the research and create the list? Great question, Carol. Dale, I think we talked about this last week, didn't we? We need to create a formula for this. We do not have a formula for this currently. We need to create one for this. I have an outsourcer that can go and create the custom list. He's done it for me many times before. A lot of the Link Create lists, actually. Yeah, everybody's liking this idea. Several people have messaged in saying they like this. So yeah, we definitely need to create this. Okay. Sounds like I need to have a formula wish list for you guys, right? Some kind of a, would that be cool? I think we need like a formula wish list somewhere where you guys can go, hey, Matt, need the formula for this. And that way you guys could like upvote it or comment or something like that. Maybe we could just do that via Facebook. I could just make a comment for every one, and then every time somebody likes it, then you guys could just, every like on it would basically show me that you want that one. Not a bad idea. But yeah, I have an outsourcer that can actually do that. He's done it for me many times before, and that's how some of the lists were built in Link Create. So, Carol, you want to shoot me a reminder on that? Say, hey, just copy what you put into here and just say, hey, Matt, need an outsourcer that can create a custom list. And then ideally, I think what they should do is load that into Linkcrete as a custom list in your account. So then it's just there for you. So should you need it in the future, it's there just for you. Just have it all recorded right there. So then it's actionable. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, just remind me on that so we can get that done. Several people really like that idea. It's a good one. Gabriel said, how do you handle rank tracking for new city pages that get added? Is that part of a formula? I don't have a formula for that, Gabriel, but that's pretty easily created. What do you use for your rank tracker? I use Pro Rank Tracker, but so much of my stuff is migrating more to like ownership projects and lead generation that in a lot of cases I'm not tracking every single thing. Being in a lot of cases we're just going for lead flow. But obviously it's important, especially for client stuff, or even lead gen. It's important too. But okay, Pro Rank Tracker. Yeah, well, if you want to see that on the formula wish list, I've actually got a video. It is not turned into a written formula, but I have a video of exactly how I set up Pro Rank Tracker for a new site. So it would be just like an additional video to that on how to go back in and like refresh it and add an additional page. So if you want to see that, I'm going to make this formula wish list. I'm going to make this here. We're just going to make a Facebook post called formula wish list. And then whenever you have an item on the wish list, you're just going to comment on that post. And then if you like somebody else's, if you want to see the same formula that somebody else wants, then what you do is either like their post, right? Like it or love it, one of those two. So that way, I can see kind of at a quick glance, which ones I need to prioritize, right? So if there's one that you're like, oh yeah, I really need that, then go ahead and do it. Okay. Sweet, awesome. Yeah, there is. Carol said, is there an outsourcer yet for Power Page creation? There is. I just need to get that formula to you guys, but there is. I've been waiting to share it with you because I was putting it together into a track. So there's a few parts to it. One is identify if there's an existing Power Page. If there is, and you can use that, then you can move right to the linking. If there's not an existing Power Page, then you can make a Power Page, and then after that's made, then move on to the linking. So the Power Page creation is actually set. I was just kind of waiting to put it in with niche edits to power it up and adding a conditional step in there, which is like, hey, is there a usable page already on your website for a Power Page? Because in many cases, you can just use an existing page. But if there's not one there, then you got to make a new one. So yeah, if you want to be one of the first to try that out, just shoot me a message and I can get you set up with that. Dale said, is there a way to delete tasks to outsource on the MODUS8 dashboard that got created when looking at formulas that you don't actually need to be done? Dale, is this, are you seeing this for like conditional tasks? Because there is, it's not really a bug, but it's just kind of a visual display that is not, it really shouldn't be there. And that's when you do a conditional task. If there's other conditions that you didn't select, those are showing up in the task to outsource. And so we're changing that right now, so those will not show up. But are you meaning that, or are you meaning like you just had some tasks that you wanted to outsource, like you put to outsource, and then you just like you were just like testing it out, or you ended up doing them yourself or something? Let me just check and see. Oh, cool. You guys are lighting up the comments here. Hold on. Let me just see if I can sort these. Oh, yeah. Okay, yep. No, yep. That's exactly what I just mentioned. Yeah, the niche edits. There's a little issue with conditional tasks that it's showing all the other conditions. Yep. Yeah, my team is on it. Surprisingly, it's a pretty in-depth issue. It's 24 coding hours to fix, and so my team is working on it, but it's going to be a few days here before that's deployed. But yeah, that'll automatically resolve itself. Just see what else you guys got for me here. Okay, covered that. Let me go up here. Sorry, for some reason, GoToWebinar is like putting your comments out of order, so it's just taking me a second to so maybe you guys need to send a couple messages. I'm just scrolling through to make sure I'm getting your whole question. So, okay, cool, that's set. Tim, I don't know if there was another part to this and maybe I missed this. I'm just scrolling to see if maybe this is it. Okay, I'm guessing this is it. Okay, Tim, you asked, can we do a track that makes the location page, content, and all supporting materials? I have a guy that does that for me now. I just give them the GMB info. Yeah, absolutely. Let's put that into the formula wish list, and then if you would shoot me a message on this, so I can just get a little more clarity from you on how you want to see that set up. I do have formulas that are coming for location page rewrites and building a location page from scratch, but I just want to be clear on what exactly you want, because I know you say like supporting materials as well. So I don't know if you mean like he's doing all the optimization as well, like the embedded map and all that, or more just like supporting pages or geographic content, all that stuff. So just if you would just shoot me a message so I can clarify that a bit. Dave said, can you post a video on how you set up Pro Rank Tracker for a new site? Yeah, that was actually in one of the mastermind calls. So I'll get that video for you, Dave. Okay. Let's see here. Carol said, for the formula, build competitor benchmarking links after the research has been done. Is there an outsourcer that can build the links? Yeah, actually the same outsourcer as the citations. And so I'm just working on a way for him to be able to kind of bid this accurately, because some links are going to be, it's a little different than citations, because some sites will be completely free, some will be paid. So I'm looking for a way to structure it where, it's fair for you guys, right? I don't want you basically just paying for him to go and submit to stuff that is like only paid, and then you're like, you've got like halfway submitted stuff, and then you're like trying to figure out how to do the rest of it. So just give me a little bit of time to figure out how to work the mechanics of that, and we'll get it set. But likely it's going to be probably build like a specific amount of them and then have it repeat, so like a drip. But again, I just need to run a couple examples just to see what the results are when he's doing it that way, because I just want to make sure that if you guys are paying for this, I want to make sure you're getting a healthy number of live links out of it, and that they're not all just paid. So that's something we may need to trial a little bit. Let me see what else we have here. Oh, wow. What a treat for you guys. What a treat. Gabriel asked if I could share the Pro Rank Tracker video, and this is even better. Kyle, you're a rock star. Kyle said this: I made a formula for Pro Rank Tracker. I can share it with people. Well, what do you think? Who wants Kyle's formula for Pro Rank Tracker? You don't even have to wait for me and get that video. Kyle's got a formula for Pro Rank Tracker. I'm assuming you're doing it like kind of like how I am too, right? I'm guessing you are. Awesome. Yeah, that's so cool. Yeah. Oh, cool. Kyle said, I got it from the video you made. Well, you guys ought to thank Kyle because he just royally hooked you up. Kyle, will you put a share link in the MODUS8 group for that? You want to just share that formula and put it into MODUS8 group? That'd be amazing. Or do you want people to message you? Which would you rather? I just didn't know if it'd get overwhelming if people are messaging you. I'll check and see what you want to do. Let me just go through other comments here. Go to webinar, come on. Made your chat box so small. All right, let me just scroll through here and okay, yeah, everybody's saying they want that. I'm looking for your comment to see how you. Okay, cool. So I'll help you post that. We'll get it all set and I'll help you post that. No problem. Let's just see what else we have. Dale said, is there a formula for an existing citation audit? So there isn't currently, but I want you to put that on the wish list. It is already in development. I had a guy that I used, a lot who became, just real. He wasn't on MODUS8 yet. This was just a guy that I had kind of just, hired, here and there whenever I needed it. But I have got a couple other folks that have done a good job, and Tim in our group has actually had a guy that's been doing citation audits for him that's been doing an awesome job. So I've been in talks with him to get some samples and run some projects for us to see how they turn out before he can be on the platform. But put that on the wish list. We're already on it, but it'll be a good reminder for us to see it through and finish it out. So that's a great idea. Just go through the rest of you guys have. Gabriel just said gold star for Kyle. Just scrolling through here. Carol, for building links to a Power Page, my favorite thing on that is the niche edits. That is what really I've found works the best. So in the Power Page formula, that's what I'll be showing. Let me just scroll through and make sure. Let me get everything here. 1 second. Okay. Lee, awesome. Lee said it'd be great to be able to see price adjust, like basically listing out which links are free, grouped into like 2 tasks. One for paid links, one for free, and having prices listed. Yeah, Jared is actually adding something for us in Link Create to have basically a field for, instead of just in the notes saying free or paid, it's actually going to list free, paid, and then what the cycle is for paid. So if it's a one-time, if it's a monthly, if it's an annual, whatever the fee is, so we will be able to separate those out. So we need to go through all of the links in Link Create first to do that, but then we can absolutely separate them into free and paid lists, so that way they can actually be determined. You can figure out what you want to do with them. Teddy, that's coming. Teddy said, how about a pop outsourcer to actually do the on-site adjustments for us? And that will be coming. I've been talking to a couple of our members here that are really good with pop and Quora, and so we're working on getting all that formalized for you guys. So that is absolutely coming. Also some stuff with traffic. I didn't put that on, forgot to put that on the list, but some special GMB posts, even videos, as well as some traffic stuff that's going to be coming as well. Funneling local traffic through your GMBs and all kinds of cool stuff. Okay, Tim, that sounds fantastic. I see that I have an attachment from you, so I don't know if I'll get to that tonight, but if not, I'll get to that in the morning for you. No problem. Okay, anything else? Anything else that you guys need right now? If not, shoot me a message. I will absolutely help you guys out. Did I get it all? Looks like the chat box. I think we got it. It's not showing me any new ones here. Let me just double check. I think we got it. Okay, I am going to go make the formula wish list post right now. So homework for you. If you have a formula or something that you really want to be a formula, then I want you to just go comment on my post that I'm going to make. And you're just going to comment with what you need the formula for. And if somebody's already commented with a formula that you want, then don't add it again. Just go ahead and actually like their post, okay? And that way I know, or if you have some additional things you want to mention, like it'd be really great if you could do this along with that, or can you include this or something, then comment on their comment. But otherwise, just go ahead and like it, and that way we can get a sense of what's popular and what you guys want to see, and make sure we get it created, okay? And we may reach out to you with questions on specifics of how you want it set up and whatnot. But I'm going to go post that right now. So those of you that mention formulas that you want, do me a favor, in like 5 minutes, go to the group, look for that post, and comment on it so that way we can keep track of what you want. All right. And that's going to be it for tonight. I'll post the recording tomorrow, and then we'll come back next week. We'll do a lot of formulas and just help you guys with anything else that you need, and I'll give you some platform updates as well. So that's it for tonight. Thanks everybody for being here. It was an awesome call, and I'll look forward to chatting with you guys next week. Good night, everybody.